Howdy, kids. It's me, Bob Harris, senior editor, footballdiehards.com. It's the Saturday, week 9 already. Week 9 injury review, preview, update, overview thing for your viewing and listening pleasure. We'll start out with the big news. Ezekiel Elliott. He's playing. On again, off again, on again, off again. Suspension is off again. So he will get at least one more game. And it sounds like that might be it. But hell, we thought it was it last time, right? So this one, there'll be another hearing next week, and probably, the suspension expected to continue, but you just never know with this, right? So get him in against the Chiefs if you got him, and get another week out of him. We'll see where it goes from there next week. So beyond that, that was the good news. The bad news, Deshaun Watson lost to a season-ending torn ACL during Thursday's practice. Horrible news. Texans offense averaging over 30 points a game with him at the helm. Will Fuller and DeAndre Hopkins both producing at wide receiver 1 levels. Tom Savage takes over, obviously expecting the same production as the Reach. That said, it's a great matchup this week against the Indianapolis Colts. I wouldn't bail on Hopkins in season long. Don't know that I'd bail on Fuller. Just you're going to have to change your expectations. Tom Savage, not as good as Deshaun Watson. We'll have to get our heads around that and see where it goes. But that's where we stand right now, so we'll move forward from there. Andrew Luck on the other side of the ball, placed on season-ending injured reserve as well. He will not return this year, and it's kind of not a huge surprise, right? We've seen this thing heading in that direction, it seems like, for a little while. Jacoby Brissett will continue to play. Beyond that, on the injury front, Jameis Winston and Adam Humphries both listed as questionables. Ongoing shoulder issue, right shoulder issue for Jameis Winston. He's been playing through it, played great in Buffalo with it, not so great last week. Got a full week of practice in this week, though, which he didn't do either the last 2 weeks, so maybe that's a little hope. Adam Humphries returned to practice with a rib injury. His status uncertain. Baltimore takes on the Tennessee Titans in Tennessee, Nashville. Joe Flacco, Jeremy Maclin, Mike Wallace, Nick Boyle, all listed as questionable. Terrence West is out. Michael Campanaro, doubtful. A lot of the underliers kind of doubtful there as well. The guys we're looking for, Flacco, Wallace, and Maclin, should play. Flacco and Wallace have been cleared out of the concussion protocol, practiced fully all week. My guess is this is just a formality for questionable. Same with Maclin. He's been playing through this injury the last game, or he did last week, and played pretty well, scored a touchdown. So Terrence West still not ready. Danny Woodhead started practicing, and he's eligible to return, I believe, after the next game. Nick Boyle, more important, is a blocker and the receiver, so we'll watch him. He's also questionable. I'll have all that in the 90 minutes leading up to kickoff tomorrow. That's a bunch on one team. Other side of the ball, Delaney Walker, listed as questionable. Got on the practice field Friday. Seems likely to play. He often, works through these injuries, so you have to watch that. If he doesn't go, Jonnu Smith, the rookie, will get a larger role. Corey Davis will return to action this week. Practiced fully all week, and remember, he was pretty good against the Raiders, so we'll see what he can do. He's expected to start opposite Rashard Matthews. In addition, DeMarco Murray's off the injury report there. Emmanuel Sanders listed as questionable going into Philadelphia. Tough matchup against the Eagles. The Eagles acquired Ajayi in a trade. I'm sure you've heard that. If you haven't, they did. Not sure if he's going to play or not. If he does, it'll be a very limited role, so watch for that. Zach Ertz listed as questionable. Doug Peterson says it's not a big deal. Says he expects him to play. Says it's just a little tightness. We'll want to watch that. He's a very favorite target of Carson Wentz, who's playing at an MVP level, in part because of some of Ertz's activities. In addition, it's the Denver defense, very tough. Also very tough against the run, don't forget that. But great against the wide receivers, not as great against the tight ends. So, like Sears play, so that'll be something to watch. The Jacksonville Jaguars, Leonard Fournette off the injury report. Marquise Lee is still there, though. He didn't practice and got in the limited work on Friday. Listed as questionable. Could see Dede Westbrook, the rookie, promising. My co-host on SiriusXM Radio, Mike Dempsey, who covers the Jaguars at the stadium every day, thinks that Westbrook could be the most talented receiver on the roster right now. So watch for his emergence if he does so. On the other side of the ball, Randy Bullock, listed as questionable, kicker for the Cincinnati Bengals. They just signed a kicker this morning, Michael Cohen. So that's not a good sign, right? Never a good sign when they sign a guy to come on. So it didn't sign with the practice squad. They signed him. So avoid the situation would be the best bet. Late afternoon kickoffs. Those were all early game kickoffs, so you're good there. These are the late afternoon kickoffs. Andre Ellington listed as questionable against the San Francisco 49ers in San Francisco. You're going to see a lot of Adrian Peterson here, kids. There is no Carson Palmer. Drew Stanton will be at quarterback. Expect him to hand the ball off a lot and probably focus on the wide receivers. You want to focus on, Larry Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald, Peterson. These are the guys that probably you want to play. Peterson's going to get a ton of work. They talked about it in practice all week. Read the article on the site. It's, the offensive coordinator, Harold Goodwin, talked about feeding the beast. And the beast is Peterson in this case. Other side of the ball, bad news. Pierre Garçon, done for the year. Neck injury suffered last week. They put him on IR. So CJ Beathard will be the starting quarterback this week. Don't expect to see Jimmy Garoppolo until after their bye, week 11. They would like to get Joe Staley, the offensive tackle, back, have all their pieces in place, get him up to speed on the offense before they get a look at him. So don't get too excited about that. Kansas City Chiefs against the Dallas Cowboys. I mentioned Ezekiel Elliott is playing. On the other side of the ball, Albert Wilson will not play. He's been ruled out with a hamstring injury. He's kind of been a nice little bit player, a role player in that offense, but obviously the big three there are the guys of interest: Kareem Hunt, Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill. Those are the guys that are going to be interested in there. Washington Redskins are, Cole Beasley is listed as questionable with concussion. He practiced Friday, said he was going to play. Dan Bailey out, of course. He's been replaced by Mike Nugent. Groin injury, be another month for him. Washington Redskins are a mess. Still awaiting words on Jamison Crowder. He was going to test his injured hamstring before the team flew out of Washington for Seattle today. I don't have that information. I will put it on the website, in the main page of the site, in the late-breaking updates section. When I get that information, even if he makes the trips, he's still questionable. Will be game time decisions along with Rob Kelly. They've got a mess on the offensive line, at least 3 guys out there. In addition, they'll have no Niles Paul and no Jordan Reed. Jordan Reed's out. Shocking development, that, right? Hamstring injury this time for Jordan Reed. So Vernon Davis is your plug-and-play threat. It's going to be a tough go if they don't have Crowder as well. But Chris Thompson's still a viable play, even in Seattle. Beyond that, you're taking your chances. Josh Doxson, Terrell Pryor, tough matchup in Seattle. Other side of the ball, CJ Prosise listed as questionable. Eddie Lacy is going to get the bulk of the carries. Pete Carroll and Tom Cable, the offensive line coach and run coordinator, talked about that this week, that they want to see somebody establish a rhythm. He's going to get the chance to do that. So Eddie Lacy gets the first shot at that starting job. For Sunday night, Oakland Raiders against the Miami Dolphins in Miami. Marshawn Lynch is back, for what that's worth. Don't everyone get excited at once. Other side of the ball, Jay Cutler and Devontae Parker. Cutler coming off the broken ribs. Sounds like it'll be a pain management issue. They're both listed as questionable, but they both practiced fully all week. So they're expected to play. It's a Sunday night kickoff. That kind of puts you in a bind. I'd like to play Devontae Parker, but you'll need a fallback either in the Monday night game, or either that Sunday night game or in Monday nights. And so we'll watch that. On Monday night, Martellus Bennett for Green Bay Packers. Hasn't practiced yet. He has a shoulder issue. We'll see what he has Saturday, what he does today. The Packers will hold the practice today. I'll have that on the site as soon as that information is updated. The other side of the ball, Kenny Galladay. Doesn't look like he's going to go. Hasn't practiced yet this week. Hamstring still an issue. Set it back, I think it was last week or week before. It's been an ongoing thing, so nobody get too excited about his return this weekend. Dwayne Washington has a concussion, returned to the practice field, and should get a little time in today. So watch for the final injury report out later today. Again, watch the main page of the website through all the kickoffs Sunday. I'll have your updates there. You can listen to me also on the radio, SiriusXM Fantasy Sports Radio, doing the SiriusXM Fantasy Football pregame show. In addition, all the great content on the website. Brad Cruz's Sit Start, Armando Marsal's columns, all the DFS stuff from him, John Lobb, just a ton of stuff, even some stuff from me. So check it out. Jen Ryan will be answering questions on the Football Diehards at FF Diehards Twitter feed on Sunday morning in the hour leading up to kickoff. So hit that as well. And good luck this week. Let's win some games, win some money, and have a good time. And let's hope everyone stays in the locked and upright position the whole game. Thanks.